Hey guys, how you doing? It's Brad with ATRE Podcast.com, all things real estate. Have a fantastic guest for you today. Her name is Pamela. She was born and raised in Los Angeles. Now, Pamela's parents are originally from Iran, and her main passion was being an actress. But being from a Persian family, there was a lot of talk around females being in the entertainment industry. So her other passion was children and child psychology in particular. Now, Pamela, when she puts something in her mind, she goes for it. So what'd she do? She went to California State University in Northridge, got her bachelor's degree in child psychology, and went to work at Stephen S. Weiss Temple as a elementary school teacher. Now, once Pamela got married and started to have her own children, she couldn't think of anything else but raising her kids and being a stay-at-home mom and giving her kids all the love she could. And once her kids got to an age where, she could start working again, she decided to go into real estate. And she was speaking to one of her friends, and they had mentioned a really great company. So she went out and she took her test. And after 20 years of being a stay-at-home mom, she passed it. And that friend told her to go to this company. And once she met the owners, she knew she didn't want to hang her license anywhere else. She knew that this was the place for her. And she joined Pinnacle Estate Properties in Encino in 2019. Now, welcome, Pamela. How are you?
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you. And Pamela is a newer agent. She's been in the business since 2019. And I normally don't have newer agents on here unless I'm coaching them. However, Pamela, for me, watching her grow and her career grow, she became a seasoned agent so quickly. I was so impressed with her. I reached out to her and I'm like, Pamela, I got to have you on my show. She's absolutely amazing and welcome. And Pamela, how did COVID affect your real estate career? Being a newer agent, that must have really taken you out like, oh God, what do I do now?
Being part of Pinnacle, I was very, very lucky to be able to talk to managers, to be able to understand, okay, what do we do next? One thing that I did as a newer agent is do open houses.
Right.
And that just got cut out. So I started to think, what am I going to do next?
And so did door knocking, I'm sure too, right?
Yes. It was very difficult, but thank God, I worked with my sellers and I got listings and, I sort of switched everything to that.
Well, one of the things, you're talking very nonchalantly about how, I just did this, but I've watched you and you really have some finesse, and I've watched you on your social media. And I think that has a lot to do with it. I watch you, you always look so pretty and you're very well spoken and you're very strong. And you're like, hey, I'm out here and I'm showing my brand new listing. And gosh, what is it? Descente. I remember one that you were so proud of, and you just threw it up all the time and you would give tours. And that says a lot about you and your tenacity and how you're there giving information that people may need. And I think that really probably helped you through COVID as well, because it showed people that you were working.
Oh, absolutely. Nonstop. Social media, you said it. Every single day I was posting. I was showing people that
I'm watching you.
Thank you. And I think it really helped. You're absolutely right. It really helped.
And I'm proud to be a part of the same company as you. I think you're doing fantastic. What areas do you specialize in?
I do all over. I do Studio City, Sherman Oaks. I have buyers that call me from the West Side. So it's all over.
Okay. So you kind of go wherever your clients go, wherever they need you.
Yes.
That's great. And okay, so you've been in the business 2 years now, 3 years almost. What advice would you give to someone who's thinking about getting a career in real estate? What would you say to them?
It's a good question because my son just, he's in the USC Marshall business and business school.
Wow, Marshall Business School, that's amazing.
Yes. And he says, Mom, on the side right now that everything's slowed down, I'm going to get my real estate license. And then one of the things I told him is once you get that license, every single class there is, you gotta attend to it.
Good for you.
You gotta know everything ins and out about real estate. Anything there is out there to learn, go do it.
Good.
That's what I've been doing, and I'm still doing it.
Yeah, you are. That's amazing. I do too. 24 years in, and if I see something or a class I need to take, I do it. I'm not, listen, when I started, and Dana and I were laughing about this, and Danny and Jeff and Carl, Carl and I used to sit next to each other when I started, and we had no computers. We had little, uh, we had little A through Z card holders at the end of our desk, and it would be like, call Pamela Morovati, blah, 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 on this date. And then we would go for January. Oh, I'm supposed to call Pamela. That's how it was.
Wow.
And, so for your son or for you or anyone getting into the business, we all had to figure out how to do this. So classes are so important,
Oh my God. It was the first thing when I met Dana. Dana was the first person that I met. It's the first thing he told me. It's like, you got to start taking all these classes. And he literally, before I even started the program, told me, go take the classes.
Good. Yeah. I did the same thing. I shadowed when I came to Pinnacle in 1997. I wasn't licensed, and I called up and I'm like, hey, I'd like to, one of my friends had told me about Pinnacle as well. And I said, I'd like to be an agent. And they said, okay, well, take your test and come see us. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to show up and come and shadow someone. And they're like, no, just,
Take your
and I'm like, no. And I just showed up and I just started, like, people thought I worked there, and I was just like following people around. And then I took the classes, and I took every single class I could take, and I just kept doing it. And it's been great. So I get where I think it's wonderful that you understood that. I think it has a lot to do as well with you being an actress. I was an actor as well, as you know, and I think our work ethic and studying our crafts were really important, and that goes and it translates to real estate.
And one more thing I have to say for new agents. One thing that I learned in the past 2 years that I've been doing this is be yourself. I remember I was making videos, I was showing myself and doing these videos. And I remember one of the agents was making fun of me, saying, oh, you're doing these silly videos. Ha 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 ha. I went into Jeff Goldblum's office and I was kind of sad. And I said, Jeff, maybe I should change things. And he says, Pamela, never change yourself.
That's right. Be who you are.
And thank God I didn't, because it's helped. It's worked.
Yeah. Mr. Goldblum gives great advice. He's a wonderful guy. He's a good friend. But I'll tell you, if you go look me up from the early 2000s. So we had Trulia and all those companies where people would go on and ask a question. So if you were just a regular home buyer, you might go on and go, hey, Brad, how much is that listing? So instead of me just typing it in, I used to make the word, we didn't even have iPhones then, but I used to make these videos off of a little stick drive, and I'd stick them in my computer, and then I'd upload it. So you'll see me from 2003 going, hi, Pamela, that house is $699,000. I would love to take you and see it. So I was doing it before we could even do it. And people made fun of me just like you. And look at today.
And people are doing what I'm doing now. Isn't that
That's
funny?
right. Well, because now you're an innovator. They want to be like you. Now they're going to ask you for advice, because you're fabulous on it. I really think you should never, ever, ever stop, because I thought, God, why haven't I seen Pamela? I've been here all these years. And maybe I'm getting old and I'm not being friendly enough, because I'm not sure, and then I was like, wait a second, this is Pamela who started a couple of years ago. You seem seasoned. You're great. Now, Pamela, I know you haven't been in the business a long time, and your clients are so lucky to have you, but where do you see real estate headed? In other words, do you see it with COVID and all the forbearances? Do you see that we're going to have an issue maybe with foreclosures or evictions down the road, or do you just see it rosy and perfect?
Well, you see the low interest rates, and people are, there's such low inventory, and people are still buying. And, I'm trying to get all my sellers to get in the market. This is the time, I only see it getting, better.
That's great. And it's a good time for buyers with interest rates low, as long as they're going to be there, for 5 to 10 years, they're going to do fantastic.
Absolutely.
Every cycle outruns the last cycle. So who is your biggest influence in real estate?
I had the real estate around me ever since I was little. My dad is a mechanical engineer and a contractor. My uncle is an architect, so I've been around real estate and I've seen it from the inside, outside. Once I got married, my husband is big time investing in real estate. So I would see all the transactions. I went back and forth, and he was actually my biggest fan, saying, Pam, you need to do this. You're good with people, the market, the real estate background. Go for it. So I would say probably my husband.
Oh, that's wonderful. You just earned some more brownie points with your husband.
Thank you.
Pamela, and by the way, for everyone out there, do you like Pamela or Pam? What do you prefer?
Pamela, because Pam reminds me of that cooking spray.
Okay. Sure. I use Pam. It's very healthy. It's good for you. Yes.
Yes, very healthy.
So do you consider yourself a listing agent or a buyer's agent?
I think in the short time that I've been in this business, I would say listing agent.
Okay, good. And
Yeah.
then every buyer turns into a listing anyway at some point.
I
You'll
would-
learn that. You're doing so well. Wait in 2 or 3 years from now when all of those people that were your buyers are calling you and they're listing and then they're buying again. It's so much fun. What do you think? What do you think that your clients love most about you?
I think that I'm honest. I'm myself. I put myself in their shoes. Like you brought up Descente.
Yeah.
When I was doing Descente, it was like a beautiful adult treehouse. And there was always, so much stuff on the floors that had to be broomed and cleaned. And you know what? I got my hands dirty. I went in there because I said, I'm selling it. It's like it's my house. If people are coming to me, I want it to look pristine. So I think what they like is how much I am willing to put myself in their shoes.
I love it. That's great. Can I ask you, what do you love about yourself with real estate? What makes you look at yourself and say, wow, I'm really proud of myself?
For being a stay-at-home mom for 20 years and being out of the loom, I think, my wanting so bad to make it and to prove to my kids, to my husband, you know what? Yeah, I was home raising children, but I'm a go-getter.
Yeah.
I can do this. And when I do something, you said I go all the way. I'm not a quitter. I might get down and a little bit upset. I'm not a quitter.
Good for you.
Thank you.
And I'm proud of you for that too. I think it's wonderful. What do you? Okay, so I know that I think you're a part of the Women's Council as well, right?
Women's
You're part of the
Council.
Women's Council, or if not, you should be for real estate. There's a women's.
Hey, thank you. I should be.
You should try to join it at the board, actually, because I think that I think a lot of people who are stay-home moms who are in a rut or looking for something could be a really valuable part of your team as you want to grow and as you will grow, and you're going to be too busy. And you can get a lot of people like you, and you could be a really positive influence on a lot of women and help them get out of where they're at and be who you are, or at least be a really great asset to you.
It's an amazing feeling, Brad. I'm telling you, to be out there and to actually say, wow, I did this.
Yeah.
It's amazing as a woman.
My wife's an agent now. She's working with me. And
oh, wow.
After being a stay-home mom for all these years, and she enjoys it. And she doesn't like the paperwork as much, but she is really fantastic at dealing with people.
Yes.
And really doing like you doing things. So I think it's great. Pamela, what are you doing to gear up for your second half of 2021? What do you think is going to help you be more successful?
Well, definitely, I'm still going to be advertising. I'm going to, sending out my postcards, my sphere of influence, calling people. It was hard because I couldn't go out with them. I couldn't take them to coffee. I couldn't socialize. But I'm doing a lot on social media.
Good.
That's one thing I do every day, as you know, and, make my calls and emails and stay in touch with people.
That's right.
And go ahead.
So that's great. So it sounds like you're doing what you're, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. You're going to just put that into high gear though, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Pamela, what would you like your clients to know about you that maybe they don't know about you? Or maybe there's a prospective client that's listening to this podcast and they're saying, Pamela is someone I'd like to know more about. I'm going to give her a call. What do you want them to know about who you are as a person and what you bring, to the table? I know you were talking about really getting on your hands and knees and cleaning if you have to, or doing whatever needs to be done. But speaking from your heart, what would you like a client to know about you?
I want them to know that I'm on their side. I am there to make them, shine. I'm there to, I'm presenting them, I'm presenting their house, and I will do the best that I can for them. So, and I'll bring everything that I have. I was at a situation that I was told by other agents that, you're not going to sell this house. What you're going to do? The house is falling apart, which it wasn't. And I did not let that get to me. And I stood my ground and I fought for my clients. And guess what? I got them over asking.
Yeah,
So
good.
I will fight for them. I will fight for my sellers.
Good for you. And those agents, those naysayers that come in, you know what? I just ignore them as well. You're smart, because the truth is there's a buyer for every home. And the agents that come in and say, oh, I would offer you this, your house, blah, 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 it's horrible. I don't even entertain their offers. I tell my clients, you're going to have a problem with these people. Pick this guy. This guy's not going to give you a problem. Maybe it's a little less money, but in the long run, you're going to be a happier person. And I'm glad to see that you feel like that.
That's what we have to be as agents, professional, treat everyone fairly, nicely. Doesn't mean.
I agree. What advice could you give a seller to get their home ready for sale?
I would tell them, imagine you are the buyer. Put yourself in their shoes, walk around your house, whatever needs to be fixed, fix it.
Good for
Don't
you.
think, oh, they're not going to see it or it's down there. No, they're going to see it. If you see it, they'll see it.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So make it perfect for them to come in and say, oh, this is it. This is what I want.
Light, bright, perfect.
Absolutely. Paint if you have to, do whatever that needs to be done.
Little paint will get you a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
What advice?
I'm a believer in staging. I love staging.
And even if, guys, I don't know if you realize this, but Pamela and I, we're at a company where if maybe you can't afford to stage or do something up front, Pinnacle's got a great program called Pinnacle Works that can actually help you stage, and everything else can be paid later, but you don't have to really have any out-of-pocket expenses, and Pamela can get you, even more money for your house, and the staging will really be paid for, so it won't matter.
Absolutely.
What advice could you give a buyer who's looking to buy their first home or any home especially in a tough market like today?
First thing is, it's a competitive market. You have to be pre-approved.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you have, put your best foot forward, get yourself ready, and I will fight for you and I will get you that house, but make sure you are ready, pre-approved.
Good
Very
advice.
important.
Listen to Pamela, you guys. Good advice. Okay. This is a fun question. I ask everybody this question. So, Pamela, if you were Marty from Back to the Future and you had to, jump into your time machine and go back and tell young Pamela, just give her some advice about life. What advice would you give? It could be real estate, it could be life, it could be anything, but tell me something that you would want to warn her about and something that you'd want to tell her to do more of.
Go out with that guy in high school.
Do it.
He was a nice guy. Anyways, I would tell myself, Pamela, be confident in yourself. Stop doubting yourself. You can do this. You can do this better than anyone. You can do this. So confidence was the biggest thing for me. I was very scared to, come into this business. But I said to myself, you know what? I can do it. And now that I'm in it for 2 years, hell yeah, I could do it.
Yeah,
I can do it, and I'm strong for it. Absolutely. So be confident in yourself.
Good for you. Is there anything you'd want yourself? So you're talking about, hey, young Pamela, be confident and do this, and really you can do it. And that's such great life advice. Is there anything you'd tell her besides buying like Amazon at nothing? Is there anything you'd tell her to do more of? Whether it be for real estate, maybe it's family time, anything to do more of?
Probably, it's funny because I pride myself in being a family woman.
Yeah.
And I'm always doing everything for the kids. I would say do more for me.
Good for you.
Do more for me. And I don't feel like I do.
You should.
I should, because once, mommy's happy, then everyone else is happy.
Yeah.
And by the way, Mother's Day is coming. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms.
Yes. But by the time this airs, it's going to be July.
Woo, bikini season. Woo woo. Okay.
Yeah, so hopefully you're all being safe and calling Pamela to list to buy a home. Pamela, what's an average morning for you?
Average morning, believe it or not, we just got a puppy. Yes. So I'm up at 5 a.m.
Yes.
Getting the puppy ready. I get the kids, well, right now, 2 of them are in school and 1 of them is home. So try to get the ones that are, get their lunches ready. basically try to, if I get any time to go a little walk, do a little walk in the neighborhood.
Good for you. So a little exercise.
Yes, absolutely. And that's a little me time, not a lot, but a little me time.
You should always have me time.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on. That's my
Every
goal.
morning you should have me time. And I'm going to tell you something. If you listen to my podcast, every single top producer, when they take morning time, there's a little bit of time that they etch out for themselves to work out, to meditate, I don't know if you do positive affirmations, but to have positive affirmations. And every top producer has told me this. And I mean, this morning I was at the gym at 6:30. It's for me, I get clients there. I can, you have someone behind you.
I'm doing a podcast. Sorry.
No problem. So that's one of her children. See why she doesn't get much me time. But yeah, so it's a really great thing to do. And I hope you find time to do more of it.
Thank you.
Pamela, so how could my listeners and your future clients get a hold of you if they'd like to buy or sell a home? How could they get a hold of you?
Well, I do work for Pinnacle, and my email is Pamela, Pamela Morovati @gmail.com. My cell phone is 213-248-6844. And I will always be there for you.
That's amazing. And if she is busy with a client, she'll call you right back.
Brad, I am very, very excited to have been on your show, and I'm humbled, and I appreciate you asking me to do this. It's been great. And I'm learning a lot from you. Just listening to your podcast.
Thank you. That's wonderful. And guys, you know what? Pamela is amazing. Make sure you give her a call. And remember, go to my website at ATREpodcast.com and you can download my 5 free videos on how to start being successful in real estate today. And if you'd like to start coaching with me, go to my website, scroll down to Getting Coached, and you can get 1 free session with me on getting coached. I really look forward to working with you. I'll find a recipe for your success. I want to see you thrive, not survive. And remember, like my dad said, have an attitude of gratitude. And Pamela, it's been so wonderful.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
No problem. No, thank you. And that's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Many of my podcast listeners have become my coaching clients. If you'd like to be a coaching client, go to my website at www.atrepodcast.com and sign up for your free 30-minute coaching evaluation at www.atrepodcast.com. And as my dad would always say, have an attitude of gratitude.